Hello everybody, making a video about the cost of living in the UK in comparison with the amount you earn as a nurse in the UK. Is it worth the trouble? Yeah, I need to know. You need to know, and that's why I'm here. The cost of living varies from cities to cities and from areas to areas. Now, London, very expensive. There are places around London and the neighboring cities in London that are cheaper in comparison to London. London, you could have a flat that goes for up to £800, whereas in some other areas you can find the same flat going for about £300. Yes, but then London has a very good transport system. Even the whole of England itself has a good transport system. The rail system, for one, for me, is a given beautiful thing. London, Bristol are like the high-end areas. You have major cities in the UK that are quite expensive, but we also have areas that are not expensive. Northern Ireland, Birmingham, Manchester. Just do your research before you choose a place you want to settle. You could just Google it and see cost of rent in a city. Usually gives you an idea of how expensive a city is. Once you begin to find that the cost of a flat is above £500 per month, then begin to think that place must be very expensive. Same will go with everything. But when you see that the cost of an average flat ranges between 300 to 450, then council tax, which is basically you paying to the council for providing services such as your refuse, your roads, so you pay council tax, and this council tax is according to bands. You have the band A, B, and C, the highest band. How they classify these bands, I just think it's just from most busy areas or more developed areas in the city to less developed areas and villages. So, and village, I don't mean village like village, but just that you don't have a lot of noise in those areas. You have the bands. So you have the band A, which is a top band, where if you live in such areas, banded A, you pay more in council tax. And if you live in areas that are lower bands, you pay less in council tax monthly. Now, water, you pay for your water. If you're an average user of water, depending on how much water you use, you will be billed for how much you use. That's just it. Every 6 monthly, they come to review your meters and change and adjust your rate accordingly, so you can pay less as a single person. Have your electricity bills. Now you have many providers that are competing to get you to come over to them, so I think that makes it more competitive and makes the cost of electricity to be affordable. If you think you're paying too much, look for another provider and get your pay cut. So averagely, you can also be paying ranging from £30 to £40 and as high as £80. But most people heat their homes through gas. So electricity or power can be provided through electricity and then through gas. People use the gas to either cook and to heat their house. When you go shopping, you got to eat. You have superstores, you have Tesco, you have Asda, you have Lidl, you have many of them, Morrison's. You have a lot of stores, superstores. You find out whichever is cheaper in your environment. You have Poundland. Walk into the stores, you have to find out for yourself which stores have which things that are cheaper. You could go to Poundland and get anything for as little as £1 and save money on buying things more expensive from Tesco or Asda and the likes. So find out what works in your area. So, but averagely, you can spend £20 and be able to buy something that makes sense, and for family people, up to £100 to buy stuffs that you need. And then depending on how you want to shop, weekly, monthly, or twice in a month, you shop as needed. Make your budget, and yeah, that's it. How much you can spend. You can spend up to £150 in grocery shopping and in feeding. Most people get houses close to their places of works or their hospitals, so you may not spend so much on transportation. But if you live far away, you have buses system, you have the train, which you can book ahead of time and make your cost of transportation cheaper. You also have buses that also have card systems that make you to buy ahead of time, and you pay less fares for your bus. In London, you have Oyster cards that are way cheaper. If you want to drive, then you can be able to fill up your tank for £30 depending on the liter capacity of your car, and that will last you for quite a very good while into the month, depending on how far you're commuting from to and from work. So that is it. If you aggregate all these things, then you have an idea of how much you're going to be spending living in the UK and the cost of living in the UK. And like I said, the biggest clue you can get is to Google the cost of accommodations in any city. Once you can find the cost of accommodation in any city, that will give you a hint to how expensive the area is. Electricity, water, gas, fueling are basically the same. Okay, they're basically the same, but the cost of accommodations, electricity, water, gas, fueling are basically the same, but the cost of accommodation vary from city to city. So that's always a pointer to how expensive an area is. Phone bills, and it's also competitive. You have different providers, so you opt for what service provider you prefer that offers you a package that is according to your pocket. And like I always say, buy what you need to use. You don't need to buy it because it's so big. Buy what you have. You can have plans for as low as £5 and as high as £20 per month. So you got to use your brain in determining the services that you use. You basically need to be able to call, to have send text messages, and be able to browse. So you look for the deal that is cheapest and that offers you these three things. You choose your provider and choose wisely. You have 302, you have Vodafone, you have EE. So you choose what service provider you want. There are a lot of them out there, and that's another expensive. That's something that takes your money. And if you're a movie lover, then you have to spend in paying for your satellite. Yes, you pay for your satellite. I think £10. Some of these things are included already in your broadband, in your service provider. So just look for the best deal that suits your person and what you like more, and then you go for it. So if you sum all these things up, you have an idea of how much it costs to live in the UK and how well to maximize and make the best choice. Research. Don't just jump into anything that comes your way. Research first off. Look for the cheapest deal. Everybody's trying to win somebody over to their side, so you have the opportunity to just make the best deal and get things for cheaper amounts and save some bucks for yourself. It's all about wisdom and money management. You have to be shopping. Women, we love shopping. You have also various shops that are high and you have the lows. I mean, in cost, and make a good savings, because at the end of the day, you want some moolah in your account. You want a good credit. It's about financial liberty. Very much for your time. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions and anything you would like to ask me, please do ask. Let's connect in the comment section. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Bye.